Hey everyone, welcome to our channel Mental Game. Today, we are going to talk about 15 signs it's time to end a relationship. Now let's begin. Thinking about ending a relationship is never simple, especially when you have years invested in your partner. It's so easy to make excuses for the person you're dating, to convince yourself to stay with them even if you know, deep down, that it's not working out. No one actually wants to go through a breakup. It's painful, it takes a long time to recover, and the process can make anyone feel just plain lonely. But if your relationship isn't in a good place, going through a breakup may be necessary. No one deserves to stay with someone who isn't treating them right or making them happy. Sometimes it's not even about the other person's action, but how you really feel. Here are some signs it's time to call it quits. You're not getting what you want. Even in a great relationship, you're not always going to get your way. But when it comes to the big stuff, you should be getting what you want out of your partner. For example, if your emotional needs are never getting met, that's a problem. If you want to get married eventually, but you're dating someone who doesn't share the same desire, that's an issue. If you want kids and they don't, you may not be compatible. You have to consider your greatest needs and wants, and really think about whether this person can fulfill that for you. If your partner refuses to compromise or even try to understand your point of view, then things aren't working, and they probably never will. You're turning to someone else to get what you need. There's a problem when you consistently look to someone else who isn't your partner to get certain needs met. And we're not just talking about physical cheating, although that counts, of course. Do you always vent about your day to someone else because your partner doesn't want to hear about it? Do you find yourself getting into deep talks with other people because you can't communicate with your husband? Basically, if you're going outside of your relationship to feel fulfilled or heard on a regular basis, that's a sign that things just aren't where they should be. Your partner doesn't show interest in your life. This doesn't just mean your partner gets bored when you're talking about work or your friends. If asking them to come to family events or a friend's party feels like pulling teeth, there may be something else going on. A partner doesn't have to show up to everything you're invited to or involved in, but they should absolutely be making an effort to participate in things that are important to you. It's a red flag if you're basically always begging them to get involved with your interests. Your partner never includes you in anything. If it's been a few months of dating and you feel like you know almost nothing about your partner's life, but you were under the impression that you were in a committed relationship, something's off. Your partner should be inviting you to hang with their friends, meet their family, and come to events to introduce you to their world. If things feel secretive, maybe there's a reason for that. You're afraid to be honest with your partner. Ideally, you want to feel totally comfortable around your partner, enough to discuss what you want and to ask for it when you're not getting it. If the thought of discussing this type of thing with your partner fills you with dread, that's the opposite of what you want. Do you worry that your partner is going to think you're crazy or overly emotional if you ask for specific things? Do you feel like you can't discuss your true feelings with them? If so, it's time to reconsider things. There's no trust, on one side or both. You've probably heard this before, but trust is truly essential when it comes to a relationship. If you feel like you can't trust your partner or they feel like they can't trust you, things are never going to work out. Of course, a certain amount of jealousy and uncertainty is normal in the beginning of a relationship. But once things become more established and you've been together for a while, that trust should be there. If you're constantly wondering what they're doing when you're not around or they're always questioning you about things, then you have to wonder what you're doing together. Your partner is abusive. No amount of physical or emotional abuse is ever okay, and it shouldn't be tolerated. It doesn't matter if your partner's abuse is verbal, physical, or emotional, and it doesn't matter how you got there, you deserve better. Your partner should not be regularly talking down to you, calling you names, making you feel terrible and worthless, or making you feel scared. If they ever threaten or attempt harm against you, it's crucial to get out. Your main reason for staying is that you've invested a lot of time in the relationship. Do thoughts of breaking up cross your mind regularly? When it does, what are your reasons for staying in the relationship? If it's mainly, "I've already invested so much time in this person," or "I've wasted so much time, if we break up, I'll never find anyone else," or "I'll never make my timeline of when I want to get married/have kids if I have to start over," then guess what? You probably need to end it. Don't settle for the wrong person because of self-doubt or social pressures. No one supports your relationship. Generally, you and your partner know your relationship best, and you shouldn't rely on what others think when making decisions. But there is an exception. If literally all of your friends and family disapprove of your partner, their opinions might be worth listening to. One or two people may not mean anything, but if everyone seems less than thrilled with your relationship, then there's a good chance there's a legitimate reason behind that. The resentment between you never seems to go away. Building resentment between two people can quickly make a relationship feel toxic and terrible. Are you always mad at your partner for little annoying things they may do? Do their habits grate on you? Are you holding a grudge? Do they constantly seem aggravated with you as well? These could be signs that you're, well, kind of sick of each other. Or there's a larger, underlying issue that needs to be addressed before you can move forward in a healthy way. You don't share the same values. If you don't already know, it's time to figure out where you both stand on the big issues. Do you both agree on things like marriage, kids, where you want to live, and how you want to spend money? If there are fundamental disagreements there, that's going to be a big issue later on, if it isn't already. No matter how fun someone is, if they don't want children and that's your dream, someone is going to be left feeling unfulfilled. You regularly feel disrespected. Sometimes what your partner may be doing to you doesn't feel quite like verbal abuse, it just doesn't feel good. Maybe they say they'll show up to events and then ditch you at the last minute. Maybe they make fun of you when you get upset about something that's really bothering you, or they roll your eyes when you bring up your concerns about them. Little things that leave you feeling disrespected and beneath them are not okay and could be a sign that you're just not meshing. You feel cut off from other people in your life. Your partner might be the most important person in your life, but they shouldn't be the only person in your life. Think about it. When was the last time you hung out with friends? When was the last time you spent time with family? If you feel like you're cut off from everyone in your life, you could be in a controlling relationship that needs to end. You're just not happy anymore. It sounds obvious, doesn't it? If you're not happy, you would know it, and you would know it's time to end it. But that's not always the case. You may be making excuses as to why you're unhappy, or you might be refusing to acknowledge it. Really think about whether you're unhappy and why, and if it doesn't feel like a problem that can be fixed, then it's time to break things off and take some time to find fulfillment in your life as an individual before committing to another person. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so we can keep making them. For more videos, subscribe this mental game channel and remember to click on the notification. Also be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.